It started with a single yellow envelope taped to my front door at 6:47 a.m. on a Tuesday that already felt cursed. The paper was cheap, the kind that tears if you breathe on it wrong, and inside was a notice of violation from the Willow Creek Homeowners Association. The crime? My garbage cans had apparently been visible from the street for a grand total of 37 minutes the previous Thursday. 37 minutes. They'd included a grainy photo time stamped like they were the damn FBI staking out a cartel drop. The fine, $250. The threat? A continued non-compliance will result in daily accruing penalties and possible lien on property. I laughed so hard I almost dropped my coffee. Then I crumpled the notice, tossed it in the very trash can they were mad about, and went to work. That was mistake number one, thinking Karen and her clipboard militia would let it go. By the time I pulled back into my driveway at 5:42 p.m., there was a new envelope. Same yellow, same passive-aggressive font. This one claimed my grass was 0.4 inches above the allowed height in the left corner. Another photo, another $250 threat. I hadn't even mowed in 2 weeks. I texted my buddy Jax, real name Jackson Holt, former Marine Force Recon, 6'4" of quiet thunder, a picture of the envelope. His reply was instant. Jax, HOA are just suburban street gangs with better landscaping. Me, they're speed running how fast they can make me hate them. Jax, want me to come through this weekend? I'll bring beer and intimidation. Me, you had me at intimidation. Me, you had me at intimidation. I should have known they were watching. The next morning, Wednesday, I left for work at 6:15. As I backed out, I noticed a silver Toyota Sienna parked across the street with the engine running. Tinted windows. No one got out. I figured it was an Uber waiting on someone. Phew. By the time I got home that night, the same Sienna was parked 2 houses down, facing my place. Engine off this time. Still nobody visible. Thursday it was a white Chevy Tahoe with a "E support our troops" sticker on the back window, which felt extra ironic. Friday it was a pearl white Escalade that screamed midlife crisis. Every day a different vehicle, same pattern. Show up before I left for work. Stay all day, vanish right before I pulled in. They were rotating like a bad spy movie. Saturday morning I pretended to leave for the gym, drove around the block and parked 3 streets over. Walked back on foot through the greenbelt. Sure enough, 2 a.m. the silver Sienna was back, this time with 2 silhouettes inside. Yeet, sighed. I snapped a long-distance photo with my phone, zoomed in. Karen Whitmore, HOA president, queen of the cul-de-sac, in the passenger seat, sipping what looked like a venti Starbucks, and her vice president Todd, the guy who measures grass with a ruler, behind the wheel. They were staking out my house. For garbage cans, I almost marched over right then, but I remembered Jax was coming that night. Some things are better with an audience. Jax rolled up at 9:17 p.m. in his matte black Ram 2500 that sounds like the wrath of God when it starts. He stepped out in desert tan pants, black t-shirt stretched across a chest that still looked government issued, and Oakleys even though the sun had been down for hours. The man walks like he's perpetually clearing rooms. He dropped his sea bag on my porch, clapped me on the shoulder hard enough to rattle teeth and grinned. Still dealing with the yard Nazis? Worse, I said. They've gone full CIA, been camping outside all week. Jax glanced up and down the street like he was counting exits. They here now? Not that I can see. They usually ghost when I get home. He nodded slow, the way guys do when they're already 3 moves ahead. We'll fix that. We grilled steaks, drank beer, and played Madden until 2 a.m. Laughing about old stories from when we were roommates in college, and he once made a campus cop apologize for existing. Normal night. Nothing weird. Until 7 a.m. when my Ring camera chimed. I grabbed my phone half drunk and half asleep. 4 floodlights snapped on. The live feed showed 6 people standing on my lawn in a semicircle, all wearing reflective safety vests like they were official somehow. Karen front and center, holding a clipboard that probably weighed more than her soul. Todd beside her with what looked like an actual measuring tape. Behind them, 2 more board members I recognized, plus 2 random husbands who clearly got dragged into this. And they were all staring at my front door like they were about to serve Moses the 10 Commandments. Jax was all a prey up, barefoot, no shirt, looking like a Greek statue that learned violence. He glanced at the feed, lips curling into something that wasn't quite a smile. At 10 hours, he said quietly. They've been rotating cars since yesterday afternoon. That's commitment. How do you... Accounted 5 different vehicles on the ring history. Same pattern you told me about. They waited till they thought we were asleep. He cracked his neck. Amateurs. Fools. I started to say we should call the cops, but Jax was already moving. He slid on his boots without tying them, grabbed the black hoodie and zipped it halfway so the USMC bulldog tattoo on his chest was still visible. Then he looked at me calm as a sniper. You recording? I tapped the Ring app to save the clip. Hell yes. Good. He opened the front door like it owed him money. The second the porch light hit him, you could see the exact moment their courage evaporated. Karen's mouth opened, closed, opened again, took one step back and tripped over his own measuring tape. One of the husbands whispered, "Yo shit," loud enough for the microphone to catch it. Jax didn't say a word at first. He just stood there, 6'4", 250, arms loose at his sides, staring at them like they were a math problem he already solved. The silence stretched so long I swear I heard someone's knees knock. Then he spoke, low and flat. "You lost," Karen tried. "God bless her," she tried. "God bless her," she tried. She lifted the clipboard like it was a shield. "This is an official compliance check. We have probable cause to..." Jax took one step down off the porch. Just one. 6 people took 3 steps back in perfect unison. He tilted his head. "A probable cause. That's cute. You moonlight for the sheriff's department now. Or is that vest from Party City?" Todd squeaked something incoherent. One of the other ladies dropped her phone. It clattered loud enough to sound like gunfire in the quiet. Jax kept walking, slow, deliberate. 10 feet away. 8. 6. Karen's voice cracked. "We will be reporting this harassment to the board." Jack stopped, smiled. It wasn't friendly. "Mom, you've been sitting outside my brother's house for 10 straight hours. In the dark, 6 of you, with reflective vests and measuring tapes. You ambushed him at 3 in the morning. He let that hang. Tell me again who's harassing who." Nobody answered. A dog barked 3 streets over. That was the loudest sound in the universe right then. Jax took another step. They broke. I've never seen adults move that fast without a starting pistol. Karen spun so quick her clipboard flew out of her hands, papers exploding like confetti. Todd sprinted straight into the inflatable Santa someone had already put up in November, bounced off, kept running. One husband yelled, "Go, go, go, go," like they were exfiltrating under fire. The Escalade, the Sienna, and the Prius I hadn't even noticed all roared to life at once, headlights stabbing the dark. Doors slammed. Tires squealed. In literally 8 seconds, my lawn was empty except for a single measuring tape and what I swear was a lost loafer. Jack stood there watching them scatter, then looked back at the camera and shrugged. "Who told you? Cowards. Cowards." He walked back inside, grabbed another beer from the fridge, and dropped onto the couch like nothing happened. I was still staring at the ring footage, replaying their Olympic-level retreat on loop. "Dude, I finally managed. You didn't even raise your voice." "I don't have to," he said, cracking the beer. "A fear does the shouting for you." We posted the video anonymously 30 minutes later. Minutes later. By noon Sunday, it was on every HOA horror sub on Reddit, every Facebook revenge group, and half the Marine veteran pages on the internet. Title we used? Waited 10 hours like creeps, bolted in 3 seconds when a real Marine showed up. HOA cowards exposed the internet did what the internet does. Within 48 hours, the clip had 4.2 million views and Karen's LinkedIn was found doxed and turned into a war zone. Someone slowed down Todd tripping over the measuring tape and added Yakiti sacks. It became a meme template overnight. But that was just the beginning. Because Karen wasn't done. Ooh, she was about to make the biggest mistake of her life.
Sunday morning smelled like victory and bacon. I woke up to my phone vibrating itself off the nightstand. The video was everywhere. TikTok had it stitched with Marines reacting, one guy in dress blues saluting the screen. Twitter, or whatever Elon's calling it this week, had it trending under #HO, a cowards and hashing camera justice. Somebody turned Jax's slow walk into a gif with the caption, "When the HO meets the HOA." Jax was already in my kitchen, shirtless again, flipping eggs like he owned the place. "Your neighbors are having a meltdown in the group chat," he said without looking up. "There is a group chat? Yeah? Karen accidentally added me last night when she was rage typing at 4 a.m. She didn't notice yet." He slid his phone across the counter. I scrolled. Karen Whitmore, 7, 4 a.m. This is defamation and we are contacting attorneys Todd Billings 6 a.m. My therapist says I have PTSD from last night, Linda from lot 9 a.m. Can we vote to ban Marines from the neighborhood? Greg with the too many Christmas lights 12 a.m. seconded. They're clearly a safety hazard. I almost choked on my coffee. Jax just shrugged. Well, they're scared of the wrong thing. Fear is useful until it makes you stupid. He was right. Karen was about to go full stupid. Monday afternoon, I got the certified letter. Not a yellow envelope this time. Actual lawyer stationery. The Willow Creek HOA was suing me for $18,400 in accrued fines and emotional distress, plus demanding I remove the video immediately or face additional litigation. They'd attached a cease and desist that was 12 pages long and written like a tantrum in legalese. Jax read it once, snorted, and used it to clean bacon grease off the cast iron skillet. That night, the board called an emergency meeting at the clubhouse. Attendance mandatory for any homeowner with an open violation. Translation, me. I brought Jax. They tried to stop him at the door. Security chair, Carl? Retired mall cop, 6 foot, even on a good day, puffed his chest. You residents only. Jax looked down at him, grade of lighthouse. Then emotional supports. Carl's hands hovered over his walkie-talkie, then thought better. He stepped aside. The clubhouse was packed. 50 folding chairs, all full. Karen stood at the podium like she was about to announce the Normandy invasion. Ted was beside her holding a projector remote with both hands so it wouldn't shake. When Jax and I walked in, the room went quieter than a funeral with open bar. Karen cleared her throat 3 times. 3 times. But this meeting is to address the incident from Saturday night and the defamatory video that has caused irreparable harm to the reputation of this association. Somebody in the back coughed to cowards. Karen ignored it. We have retained counsel. Mr. Lang from Lang & Associates is, here tonight. A guy in a $3,000 suit stood up, sulking like he rolled by the eyebrow raise. My client is prepared to drop the suit if Mr. Reynolds removes the video, issues a public apology, and pays the outstanding fines. Immediately, I opened my mouth, but Jax beat me to it. He didn't stand, just spoke from his chair in the back row, voice carrying like he was still on a parade deck. Counselor, quick question. How many hours exactly did your client spend conducting unlicensed private surveillance on private property? Lang blinked. I'm not sure that's 10 consecutive hours, Jack said, across multiple vehicles, in the dark. 6 adults, approaching a residence at 300 hours. In my former profession, we had a word for that. We called it a credible threat. Lee called it a credible threat. Lang's mouth opened, closed. Jax kept going. You sure you want to open discovery on this? Because I've got ring footage, license plates, timestamps, and about 4 million people who've already saved the file. Be a real shame if someone sent it to the sheriff with a stalking complaints attached. You could hear ice melting in people's sweet tea.
Karen tried to grab the mic back. This is intimidation. Jax finally stood. Slowly, the cheap folding chair groaned in relief. Mom, intimidation is hiding in bushes for 10 hours waiting to jump a guy over trash cans. This is a friendly conversation. This is a friendly conversation. Yet. Lang sat down so fast his chair rolled backward into the wall. Karen wasn't done. She had one last card, and she played it like a drunk playing Uno with a +4. We're voting right now, she announced. A special assessment. Every homeowner will pay $800 to cover legal fees for this. This attack on our community. Dead silence. Then Mrs. Alvarez from Lot 47, 81 years old, veteran of 2 husbands and 1 war, stood up with her cane. I've lived here 26 years, she said, voice steady. I paid every fee, followed every rule. Watched you people measure my flamingos with a ruler. But camping outside a man's house at 3 a.m? That's not an HOA. That's a damn cult. She turned to the room. Who's with me? Hands shot up, not all, but enough. 29 out of 50. Majority. Karen's face went the color of spoiled salmon. The vote failed. Spectacularly, Lang packed his briefcase so fast he left a Mont Blanc pen on the table. Nobody stopped him. Karen tried one last power move the next day. She had my truck towed while I was at work. Claimed it was parked 2.3 inches over the sidewalk line. Cost me $420 to get it back. I came home furious. Jax was sitting on my porch holding a manila folder and grinning like Christmas came early. "Relax," he said. "Duh. I did some digging." Turns out Karen's precious Escalade had an expired registration, 2 unpaid parking tickets in the and, best part, the Willow Creek permits require all board members to be current on assessments. Karen was 90 days late on hers because she'd been too busy enforcing rules to pay her own dues. Jax had already emailed the entire neighborhood the proof, plus the tow receipt with her signature authorizing my truck's removal while in violation herself. Subject line: "A rules for thee, but not for me?" By Friday, the board received 27 resignation demands. Karen's was hand-delivered by Mrs. Alvarez, who apparently chased her down the street with the cane for dramatic effect. Saturday morning, the for sale sign went up in Karen's yard. Rumor is they accepted an offer 18% under asking just to get out before winter. The new board, elected in an emergency vote 2 weeks later, is 3 military spouses, Mrs. Alvarez and a guy who everyone just calls other libertarian with the goats. First order of business, they abolished fines under $500, got rid of the Architectural Review Committee, and installed a beer fridge in the clubhouse for morale. Jax flew out yesterday. Before he left, he shook my hand on the porch, same spot where 6 cowards once stood. "You good?" he asked. And never better. He nodded once, climbed into his truck, and rolled the window down. "One last thing," he said. "If they ever come back, you call me. Day or night, doesn't matter if I'm in country or out. I'll be here." I believed him. The Ring camera still works. I kept the footage. Sometimes when I need a laugh, I play it back slow motion, yakety sax edition, and watch 6 grown adults discover the exact speed difference between false authority and real consequences. 10 hours to build the courage, 3 seconds to lose it forever. And that, neighbors, is the story of how my Marine brother turned the scariest night in Willow Creek into the funniest legend our subdivision will ever have. Stay savage, stay free, and if your HOAs ever waits 10 hours outside your house, make sure you've got a Marine on speed dial.